Hi everyone, welcome back. In today's session, I'll discuss about a migration approach. So let's consider a scenario where I'm running a Azure AKS cluster with 1.19.x version. At that time, like a few months or few years back, I was not having any availability zone, so I just created a cluster with available Kubernetes version with no ASs, and I deployed a production workload there, and we have a custom storage class with provisioner Azure disk. Why? Because at that time the CSA was not there, so I just used whatever available storage class was there. Now, as we move on, I upgraded cluster to 1.21.x, and then later on 1.22.11. The storage class is same, and even the PVC, we have a lot of huge data. Consider it might be like it's a stateful set. It might be some Kafka or some DB related data, and then the provisioner will remain same. The storage class and PVC will remain same, but the data is very huge here. Now, after some time, now some compliance or architecture team came into picture, and then they said, now you have availability zones, so just move your workloads from uh, existing storage class to new storage class. Like, we need to move this workloads. So even the Microsoft has recommended to move entry storage class to a new CSI drivers, so that we can avail CSI drivers. If you see here, starting from Kubernetes 1.21, AKS only use CSI drivers by default, and CSI migration is enabled. We can use the existing storage class, but we have some challenges if we continue to use that. One major challenge is, assume I have created a new node pool with multi-AZs, and I am trying to create a snapshot from existing PVC so that I can launch it to multi-node, multi-AZs. We cannot create a snapshot with this PVC. Whatever the PVC available with this provisioner, we cannot create a snapshot. If I don't have a snapshot, then I cannot create a disk from that snapshot. So I got stuck here. So how I can move forward? There is a solution which I'm gonna show you in a live demo, and the solution is, we need to migrate this entry storage class to a new CSI storage class, so that we can avail CSI features, the snapshotting features. I'll show you in this demo. Currently in my environment, I have a stateful set. Along with that, the PVC is attached. And if you see, the storage class is entry. Why? Because at that time that was the only storage class which was available, or we have just created a custom storage class with that provisioner. Disk lrs -ml, just to show you this provisioner. Now just assume I created a new node pool with multi-AZs. So when I try to create a snapshot with this PVC, it will fail. For sure it will fail. Why? Because the snapshotting CSI won't support this provisioner. That's the reason we need to migrate our all data from this disk LRS storage class to a new CSI storage class. Already I have created a storage class here, which I'll show you. So I will migrate all my data from disk LRS to CSI LRS. So you might be thinking, instead of migrating data from disk LRS to CSI, we can migrate it to CSI ZRS, that is zone redundant. But that is not feasible, that is not possible as well. Even if you try, it will fail. The pod will try to come up, but it won't work. Why? Because we need to go in a procedural way. First we need to migrate from LRS to CSI LRS, and then from CSI LRS to ZRS, which for this you can refer my previous session where I discussed in detail about migration, where I moved workload from CSI LRS to CSI ZRS. In this session, mainly I will focus on migrating my workload from this custom entry storage class to CSI storage class. So let's start. It is CSI -n. It's a stateful set. Mainly, first step is to create a PV with an existing PV. So describe PV. Majorly two steps are involved in this. If we know the procedure, it's easy. Otherwise, we will be in loop. Just we need to copy this disk URI. Just copy, and already I have created a file just to save time, to make it quick and a short video. Here, if you see, I'm just creating a PV from an existing PV. And I will just paste my details here. Yeah, just cross check. This PVC should match, this PV name should match with our actual PV. Otherwise it will fail. Yeah, now just apply this pv-test.ml-n. I am creating a PV. I have created a PV with an existing one. It's available. Sorry, it's ZRS. It won't work. So I will. Here it will not allow us. We cannot change storage name. In file I have edited, but delete PV. Why? Because it will fail if I create with ZRS. I'm using the storage class LRS here. I have an POC. Yeah, now it's source storage class is entry, that is LRS, and the destination is also LRS. I created a PV. In the similar way, just check PVC as well. Yeah, use LRS storage class, apply in the similar manner, so that we can have one more PVC as well. Yeah, now I have new PV as well as PVC, new PVC and new PV. So the only challenge here is we just need to delete that existing STS. This is where we should be very careful. Why? Because in production, this is the only way. Why? Because we cannot even scale down and edit this STS. It won't allow us. It will throw some forbidden errors. So the only way is to remove and then recreate with a new storage, with a new PVC. So always make sure your storage class reclaim policy should be retain instead of delete. Why? Because if it is delete, then we cannot persist our data. So always make sure we should use reclaim policy as retain for persisting data. I'm just deleting now. Delete STS web-in POC. I'm having one file handy with me. Yeah, I will go with this one. C migration. I will explain. The only difference is I just used existing claim here in volume section. Claim name is newly created PVC name. Rest of the things are same, like the configuration is same. Apply. Get port 7 POC -o wide. Here, if you see, the service is unchanged. Why? Because the only change is that stateful set. The two, the respective change is specific to our PVC. Why it is not required? Why? Because we are going with the same. Yeah, the pod is up now. PVC happening. POC get PV. Now the pod is up with our new PVC, which is of type CSI LRS. Now, the challenge what we were facing is we cannot create a snapshot from this PVC. So I converted it to CSI LRS now. Now there is a way we can easily create a snapshot with this and then convert it to a disk and use it in the same way. You can refer my previous session. So in this demo, I showed you how we can migrate a data, or you can call it as PV or PVC, from in-tree storage class to a custom CSI storage class just to avail CSI features. This is a more recommended way, I can say, and best way, so that even we can achieve this as well here. In a multi node pool we can deploy. Once you convert this LRS to ZRS, then you can deploy your application in multi AZ node pools. Hope this session was helpful. Thank you for watching.